Welcome back to the channel. First thing I have to do is apologize about that last video. The audio was horrible. Had fans running, furnaces running, music going. I think it was just confusing my little GoPro camera. I got this new camera. It's a 12 because GoPro let me trade my old camera in because the volume was so low. I mean, I practically had to scream at the camera for it to be, you know, when I, on your end, be a normal volume, which I'm speaking up now, but no fans, one fan, just barely running, no music. So let's hope it's better. It's 19 degrees outside, so can't leave the heat off for long or I'll be putting more clothes on. But yeah, just apologize about that last video. Today we're still working on that bedside. The LMC patch panel that I bought. Let me get you all a little bit closer. This lip right here was only about 1/4 inch. The original bedside was about, this lip was about 7/8 of an inch, 15/16, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I cut a piece of metal around 15/16, 7/8, and I'm gonna weld it. I'm gonna weld it so this lip is the right width. Because it does show, you know, like on the sides here, it does show. So I want it to be the same. These patch panels and body panels you buy nowadays from an aftermarket company, the cheap ones, they're coming from Taiwan. And very interesting story on that. I think it's on YouTube about the company in Taiwan that bought all those old dies, stamping dies from, I know Chevrolet, probably all the biggies, Ford, Dodge, all of them, to make these panels with. But, you know, either they're using 50-year-old dies, or I'm sure the dies that when they bought them were wore out. So even if they used them as a pattern and duplicated stuff, it just does not quite match. If you've been here for a while, you know I've done a lot of work in that in the bottom of that bed, new cross members, a lot of new sections, and the valleys and the mesas in that metal in the bottom of the bed didn't quite match up. It was close, it didn't quite match up. These things are the same way, but I mean, back in the 70s, you know, or I guess 80s, you know, these trucks were always starting to rot out. And I remember buying fenders and stuff from LKQ, which were from this same company, you know, same country, and like a fender, you know, it was close, but it didn't quite match up. So you had to use a lot of shims and stuff, but at least we can get these panels. So I'm just going to carry on welding this on. Just got to weld this a little bit at a time. I don't want it to get hot, and just welding about 1 inch at a time, and I got to get all the way across here. You can watch me weld a little bit. I reckon if you want to, I got to remember to speak up. I still don't think that's right. We'll start over here. But I'm just really skipping around, just welding a little bit at a time. As like I say, I don't want this to get too hot and warp. let me carry on here. I'll be back in a little bit. Yep, it's all welded up. Now I'll just have to grind it off fairly flat. I will dress it up with body putty, but get the high parts of the weld ground off, and we'll go put it on the truck. I'll show you how it fits. All right, got that sanded off. It'll take a little body putty to make that look right. That's fine. That's what body putty's for. It's not to build a whole truck. It's just to make things look better. Now, I'm gonna take this tool here, which I bought from Harper Freight. What it does is it puts a crimp in that metal. So, what happens, instead of doing a butt joint, when you go to weld something together, you know, just put the two pieces together, you actually make that crimp in this, and then this body panel goes over it, and it pretty much makes it flat. Time I weld this right here, and then just grind it off just like I did here, then this will be really flat and it'll be ready for body putty. Again, it should just take very little body putty to make this, to shape this back and make it look right. I hope, I don't know. I have no idea. I am not a body man. I have never done anything like this. Not to this extent, anyway. So it is pneumatic. You know what? Probably should put a drop of oil in that, along with my DA. Let me go do that real quick. Just put a few drops. Air tools have no internal lubrication, so the only lubrication is what you put in them. I'll go ahead and do my DA too while I'm here. So I have no idea how long it's been since I put it on this thing. Just 4 or 5 drops. That's all. All right. Just put that tool on there. Put it up there all the way and just move it over 3/4 of an inch or so. And it puts that little profile in it, so that when I put this up here, it'll be pretty much flat. Usually when you're talking about welding body panels, you're talking about two basic styles of weld. A butt weld, where you just butt two pieces of metal up and then you weld it where they come together. Now for me, this is kind of above my ability to do body work. Takes more body work. The second one is a lap weld, where you just actually lap two pieces of metal over top each other and weld where they come together. This takes even more body work, so this is really, you know, above my skill level by quite a bit. You probably won't see me do any welds like this. Now this is the third one. Now this is still a lap weld, but using that little pneumatic tool that I have, it puts in a profile in the metal, so that when you put the two pieces of metal together, it's actually flat. So all you have to do is just grind off the high points and you're ready for Bondo. So let me carry on. I'm gonna go all the way across the top, down both sides. Some of this down here, but I can't do this because this is all shaped. It's nothing's straight there. So some of this will be butt welded, but the majority of it will be done like this. All right, I got this all welded up and I got a little carried away. You know, when you're welding this sheet metal, you're supposed to just like zap, 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 zap. Well, I got greedy. I was welding 1/2 inch or inch, and it bowed this pretty bad. So I had to cut 3 reliefs in it. And that let all the bow back out of it. It actually sets pretty flat now. So yeah. Funny, real quick. You know, I use these little 2-inch clamps all the time. I've got, yeah, it's 2-inch also. I've got probably close to 1/2 dozen of these. It's like for clamping that angle iron on here to drag my plasma torch across to keep it straight. These are perfect. My brother bought me the first 2-inch clamps I had, C-clamps, for Christmas a lot of years ago. My brother's a heavy equipment mechanic, has been his entire adult life. So he bought these for me as a joke for Christmas, but joke's on him. I have used these things and used these things constantly. I use them all the time. I even have a couple of them in the truck, I think. But yeah, that's a funny joke. Funny story, not a joke. Funny story. So let's go over and I just turned the heat on over there. Let's go over and put this on the bedside and see what it looks like. Here is the patch panel on the truck. Now, like I said, down there, that will be butt welded. That'll fit better here in a few minutes. But this up here is actually a lap weld because I used that tool to make that relief in the old bedside. And you can see it lays pretty good. I easily push it together so I can weld it, make a nice tight joint. And I will just weld it slowly this time. Just zap, zap, zap. You know, I'm not gonna get carried away this time. And I got to finish that back there, and I got a panel for that also. I've been pretty busy. Got this piece just about ready to go on. Got some more trimming to do out here. This piece up here is pretty much good to go. It's ready to weld. Time I touch something else moves. But yeah, when I weld this, I won't do like I did around this wheel weld. I won't be welding 1/2 inch or inch at a time. I'll do it like it's supposed to. Zit, 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 you know. And it shouldn't warp so bad. I always kind of thought when you're welding something like this, you would only tack it, but no, body guys, you end up welding it solid. You know, they just do it just second half at a time. And that's how they do it. This might be the end of this video. I'm not sure. I may come up tomorrow, finish this panel up, do some welding. I'll just have to see how that works. So if this is the end of the video, thanks for watching. Be sure and subscribe. Ring that notification bell. You'll know when I post a new video. And we're going to keep working on this truck for a little while. It's too nasty outside to do anything. So work in here. Funny story. I've been sitting here watching the HVAC guy on YouTube. That's a cool channel. He's a really good HVAC guy down in Georgia. But he's in his house working on this furnace, and smoke alarm's going chirp, chirp, chirp. I'm surprised he hasn't even said anything about it. But I mean, I just think it's funny. I couldn't tell you how many hours and hours and hours and hours I've worked on RVs with the smoke detector going chirp, chirp, because the batteries are dead. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people I've worked for, they couldn't hear it. You know, miners or military guys, or And I was like, I might even say something to him because I don't pay much attention to it, to be honest with you. And apparently he doesn't either. But I mean, occasionally I'll go, does that smoke detector chirping not kind of make you a little crazy? And he goes, what you talking about? I said, you don't hear it chirping? No. Well, it needs a battery. Been busy. I ain't getting much done, but I've been busy. So you can see, well, I showed you that before. This panel here is for the bottom, and it was actually just too long. It's got all that shape on the end where it goes around the back corner, under the taillight to the bed, and it's got, you know, all this shape here for the wheel well. Well, it was too long. So you got these, you know, nice stuff here that, you know, shaped nice and fit pretty good on both ends, but it was just too long. So end up cutting it in half and just gonna weld it together. Where's the other half? Oh. So there's the back half. So I end up just putting them together. I'll weld it together on the truck, but yeah, it'll end up being like that. That's what I had to do. So that's been a little slow going. I'm no body man, so I didn't know how I was gonna make that happen. To be honest with you, it took me a little while to figure it out. And I just finally figured out, you know what? I'm gonna have to cut this stupid thing in half. And then I put this piece on as a guide so that when I weld these back together, I'll have something back in it, plus I'll have the guide so it goes back together nicely. But yeah, I'm gonna get this stuff fitted up here. I might be able to do my final fit, and then I'll start welding all this. It's gonna be a while, and it's gonna be 7 foot of weld going zit, zit, zit. It's gonna be a while. So let me get this fitted up, maybe both pieces, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, this kind of give you an idea. So, I mean, it fits fairly decent. I just start probably around that corner. Let's just start tacking it and just moving my way around. And then probably just end up here somewhere. But yeah, all in all, it's not too bad. It fits pretty good. It's gotta be pushed in, you know, as you're tacking it and stuff. So, yeah, should turn out all right, I guess. What do I know? I'm no body man. Oh, be good enough for me. That's all that matters. Yeah, I am kicking around an idea though. When I started sanding this bedside down to get down to bare metal, I was like, man, that ain't bad looking blue paint. So the bed was blue. Yeah. Back, the light's down again. The bed was tan, or the cab was tan. I don't know about the hood or the doors. I don't remember what color they are. Might be able to look in here. Yeah, I don't know. Them yahoos painted the whole inside of that cab red with rattle cans. But I've been kicking around an idea. I just might take and sand this thing down next spring, sand most of the primer off, and wherever I've done body work, just leave it bare. I mean, you know, I'll put body putty on these in these seams and stuff when I get done. But I'm thinking about, and whatever's primer, just straight primer, let's leave it primer, and maybe just get somebody to clear this thing for me. Clear coat it. next year. Just leave it like that. I don't know. I'm kicking around that idea. What do y'all think? Just make it almost like a rat rod, I guess. Sort of. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna get to doing some more ciphering here, and probably not gonna do much welding today. Probably not gonna start welding these panels on at all. That'll probably be Monday. So happy Saturday, everybody. We'll catch you next week.